Okay, this is RayJ2 here, and today I'm bringing you my fourth pony-related review. This time we have Season 3, Episode 4, One Bad Apple. After last week's super awesome episode, I had high hopes for this one, but unfortunately it let me down. Why exactly? Didn't it have ponies? Yes. Didn't it have jokes? Also yes. Then what went wrong? Let's further analyze the episode and find out exactly why I thought this was a boring and bland episode. We start things off at Sweet Apple Acres. Apple Bloom is getting ready to meet her cousin at the train station and is looking for something to wear. I really like the over-the-top outfits they designed for Apple Bloom to wear. They're only on screen for a few moments, but some of them are really hilariously designed, like the beach ball. And that's right, ponies can wear beach balls now, and this, thing, which I can only describe as a futuristic, retro-modern hippie Carmen Miranda. So anyway, Apple Bloom's cousin is from the far-off land of Maine-Hatton. Get it? The writers are really horsing around with the names of some of these locations. At least it's not as bad as Saddle Arabia in a later episode. And she's really anxious to meet her until she learns that her cousin is also a blank flank. This changes everything, of course, and suddenly it's off to the train station as fast as possible, clothes be damned. You know, ponies sure have a lot of clothes for walking around naked most of the time. Before moving on, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Episodes with these three are hit or miss for me. Some of my favorite episodes of the series are Cutie Mark Crusaders episodes. Others are some of my least liked, so I never know what I'm going to get. I'll do a super quick rundown of my opinion of these ponies. Sweetie Belle is my favorite. The voice actress is awesome, and she usually has the best jokes and one-liners of the three. Apple Bloom is okay. She's not a hardcore farmer stereotype like her sister, so that makes her stand out a little more from the rest of the Apple family. And Scootaloo is just there. Sorry if you're a fan of this pony, but I just think she's bland and uninteresting. But to be fair, Scootaloo didn't have her own episode at this point yet, and the other two did, so they're more fleshed out character-wise. It's probably the reason why I didn't like the earlier Cutie Mark Crusader episodes, because I had no idea who these ponies were until later on when they were further developed. Scootaloo finally got an episode this season though, and now I like her a little bit more, but I'll talk about that episode when I get to it, because now we've got a train to catch. So anyway, this is Babs Seed. Upon getting off the train, she's immediately assaulted by the Crusaders and taken to their clubhouse. She's not very impressed. In fact, she's really shy at first and covers her flank with her tail, something she'll be doing several times during the episode. I think she's overwhelmed at what she's gotten herself into, but then again, hanging out with the Crusaders can be an overwhelming experience. To make Babs more comfortable, they invite her to ride in the Summer Harvest Parade float. They even have a giant pumpkin and everything. Oh boy, speaking of bland and uninteresting ponies, yeah, these two right here. I don't like Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara. They're your standard bullies, ready to cause petty problems for our heroes. What are these two even doing here anyway? With all the money they have, you'd think they would want to hang out somewhere else besides a farm. Unless they came here specifically to bug Apple Bloom. Because as we all know, bullies have no life outside of bullying. So the bullies start making fun of the pumpkin float and ask Babs if she's going to join the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Babs takes this opportunity to join what she sees as the winning side and joins the side of Diamond Tiara. No, they don't have a special name for the group. Babs wrecks the pumpkin float. Apple Bloom threatens she's going to tell Applejack, but Babs comes down on her, asking if she's a snitch. Apple Bloom doesn't want to be a snitch, so I guess that's that. Her new friend has just sided with her worst enemies. That's gotta suck. Back in the clubhouse, the Crusaders try to figure out what they're going to do about Babs and the float. They decide to make a new float and try to avoid Babs for a few weeks. Yeah, that's going to be hard to do when she's sleeping in the same room as Apple Bloom. So, cue the montage of the Cutie Mark Crusaders trying to avoid Babs and failing every step of the way. And set it to an awesome song. That's right, it's song time. This song kicks ass. It's catchy as hell, the lyrics are simple so it's easy to sing along, and did I mention it's catchy as hell? When I first heard it, it reminded me of a pop song from the 80s. It kind of still does in a way. I think this is one of the definitive songs of Season 3 and probably one of the best in the series. The animation also fits the song really well, just like watching a music video. Even though I didn't find this episode very entertaining, the song kind of makes up for it. But one 2-minute song just isn't enough for me to fully enjoy this episode. After the highlight of the episode, the defeated Crusaders head back to their clubhouse to discover that Babs and her crew have taken it over. So now they have to hang out somewhere else while figuring out what to do next. Sweetie Belle wants to tell an adult, but Apple Bloom doesn't want to be a snitch, so she plans revenge instead. Yes, that's right, revenge. That's the adult way to handle things. This revenge involves the Summer Harvest Parade and a rigged float. 3 fillies work all night on their new float in a new montage set to a knockoff of the A-Team theme. Wow, the A-Team, really? That's kind of awesome. Is there a Mr. T stallion somewhere in Ponyville? I hope so. By the way, Scootaloo makes a good mechanic. Maybe that's what her special talent should be. So the new float is a giant golden apple, and Babs can't resist taking it for herself. There's a timer inside the float, and when it goes off, bad things are supposed to happen. Who are the bullies now, The Crusaders are quite proud of their misdeeds until Applejack comes along, telling them how they are all so nice for letting Babs ride in the float. That is until AJ mentions the reason Babs is here in the first place is because she's being bullied back at home for her blank flank and needed to take her mind off her problems for a while. After hearing this news, the 3 little ponies are crushed, knowing that they're just as bad as the bullies they were trying to avoid. And with the parade already underway, they've got to find a way to stop this catastrophe from happening before being exposed for the bullies that they really are, and avoid getting in major trouble. So now it's a mad dash to try and get Babs out of the float before something bad happens. Luckily, Pinky is here with a giant lettuce they can borrow. They catch up to Babs and try to warn her, but she's not having any of it and rams them off the road. Veggie salad. The timer goes off and the golden apple's brakes are cut, sending the float to a one-way trip off a cliff. Wow, that's seriously harsh. The Crusaders aren't just trying to cause revenge, they're trying to cause serious injury. The Crusaders actually catch up to the float somehow on foot, who needs a vehicle, and push Babs out of the way just in time. Unfortunately, the float crashes and the Cutie Mark Crusaders die. Not really, they're okay. Later on at Sweet Apple Acres, the Crusaders admit they were the ones to booby-trap the float. There are apologies all around, and Babs becomes an honorary Cutie Mark Crusader. She promises to start her own branch in Manhattan, then it's time for her to leave, and the episode ends at the train station. Okay, final thoughts. I thought this episode was pretty lame, the plot was uninteresting, and I didn't like the character Babs Seed. However, there were good moments sprinkled throughout. The song was amazing, and Sweetie Belle had some of the best one-liners and gags ever, but that doesn't excuse the fact that most of the time the episode was just boring to watch. The bullying theme was done before with Gilda the Griffin back in Season 1, and I didn't like that episode much either. I guess I don't like bullying themes in general in TV shows. It almost makes me feel like I'm watching an after-school special or something. So I can't really think of anything else to say other than there are many other episodes in Season 3 that I'd rather watch over this one. So there you have it. 1 bad apple equals 1 bad episode. That's bad as in bad, not good. Join me next time where I'll be reviewing Magic Duel, a much more entertaining episode than this one. I'll see you next time.